take the thumbnail. We are going to roll over to Photoshop. So, this is what I would do just to make this pop a little bit better. And once again, a reminder: this is not a software tutorial. So don't worry if you don't have Photoshop. This stuff should be accessible in a lot of different tools. Even recently, I noticed, get out of my way. Just pin you down there. Even recently, I noticed with the update on Androids, you could, and I think iPhone has this too, you can take a picture and you can hold your finger on it and it'll select the object, and then you can just you can just remove the background and put that object, you know, somewhere else, and it would, sometimes it fills in behind it too. You could do a little generative fill there. Okay, got this guy, he's roughly selected. Let's get that there. Alright, so what I would do, first, he's in a position that it kind of makes me feel like he should be centered. Now, you could do this and make him centered that way, but I like how much room he's got over the top and over the bottom, but let's slide him over a little bit. So what we would do now, this is that generative fill thing that I was talking about. I would just take him here, and I'm just gonna fill it in a little bit. Now this is I mean, I would say it's advanced, but now it seems like it's pretty accessible to phones even. Okay, that looks awesome. All right, we got our guy here. So this is the second layer, and I would move him right over here somehow. And I would put like a shadow or like some type of darker haze behind him at first, just to start. Let's do closer to him. And this could always go color-wise just to see. Okay, yeah, I kind of like the brighter there. Cool. Okay, something along those lines. Another thing is you could always do an outline. You know, that's pretty popular, and it does make things pop. We can just go ahead and leave that too. Nah, actually, no, we're not going to. All right, and then the background, you would do some type of blur, like possibly blur the background just a little bit. It's, dang it, Photoshop, always putting things on different screens here. Where are you? I got 3 screens. All of this was set before. This is crazy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to find where. Oh, there it is. It was sitting over OBS. All right, I would take the blur down just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't need much, right? Yeah, I would make them pop out a little bit in this way here. You know, I'm not so sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would play around with it, but I would make them pop out either like that, or you could just leave the outline off completely, throw on a little bit more blur, and darken the background to really make him pop out. You could always, yeah, something like that. You could darken the background, but it doesn't mean it has to lose its color. You could also saturate it a bit more. But yeah, I would do something along these lines. Consider adding an outline, or possibly even a drop shadow. This little glow thing that I was playing with, I don't want to take too much time on it, but you know, you could really play around with it. I mean, that looks cool to me, right? Even making him stand out a little bit more by taking the glow off of him. or making him brighter, you know, adding a little bit of contrast on him. But yeah, that would stick out to me a bit more. Yeah. So what I was thinking is if you did that, just so you can take a look here. Yeah. So over the top, there's negative space on the left, on the right. There's a lot of space, and it gives him room to stand out. You can use techniques with whatever software to make him stick out more. But yeah, the composition there, I noticed it immediately because you already had enough space in it. So it looked very, very cool. Well, what was I doing here? Oh yeah. So, and then the other one I saw on your channel was this guy here. The guy that's holding money there. And I would have done just probably the same thing. I would have blurred most of the background, but the money on the left and the money on the right, I would also make stick out, just like the skeleton here. Yeah, so very cool. Let's roll to 290. And it shouldn't switch screens. Cool. 290. 130. I keep doing that. 130. Mint. Oh. Didn't we just see this one? I'm pretty sure we just saw this one. Mint muffled. Yeah. Let's give somebody else a chance. 291. Don't want to lose somebody here. 190. Okay. DanniG. The Rise of YouTubers. Awesome. Select. Go to the video. It looks like I've already seen some of this. Or somebody's already watched some of this. Man broke to YouTube. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I was trying to save it. All right. First, what I would do. All right. The first thing I notice is the arrow, this one that's going up right here. It should probably be green because green means good. Well, it doesn't have to be green. It just can't be red if you're trying to make something look good. And that's not a rule. It's just how I feel personally. But you know, if it was green or blue or yellow or white, it wouldn't make me think, oh, that's bad. You know, but red does make me think bad. So if you were to turn that green or white, or even in this case, yellow pops off of blue. Let me show you what I mean. Since you got a blue background. I have no idea why that went pink. Okay, let me jump over here. So let's grab this arrow here. Yellow really pops off of blue, and you'll see it a lot. Let me think. Well, actually, yeah, yellow and green. Because if you think Ryan Trahan, he's got a lot of grass and sky, that sort of thing. Yellow, I don't know, it always pops off of blue to me. But yeah, that's kind of what green would be. Actually, I'm just gonna do it like this. That way it's fully covered. So if you had a green thumbnail or a green arrow, you could really make it work by like dropping a shadow under it if you really wanted to, just to make it pop off a bit more. Green doesn't have like an awesome contrast with blue unless you go darker, but you could always go yellow, and yellow does have a really great contrast with blue, as you can see. So that would work, but the thing is, the yellow doesn't quite go with what you've got going on here. If it were my choice, I would grab the pink maybe that he's got going on and try to make that work so you're not picking so many colors. But, you know, yellow is probably the best way to go. And since you've already got a stroke on most things, you could add a stroke on that too to really make it pop off. If you wanted to do the green, the stroke would help that too. Like so. the YouTube logo here is great. It's weird that the YouTube is black and you're doing the man in white. It's not a bad thing. It does, like, you can see, like, you can see it just fine. It's got great contrast. Everything, there's room for everything. That's great too. Sorry, I zoom out a lot to like see if I was looking at it on my phone. That's what I try to do to see if everything's clear. If you're putting a stroke around everything, it's fine. It just doesn't look super pro to me. It works in some cases, but you don't have to, and this is more advanced, you don't have to use it if you just pick the right color and add like a little shadow. But yeah, it does work. It's just there are better options, I think, in my opinion. But these are fine. The text is thick, you know, it's bold. You went right there. I am a little curious why you chose to not capitalize this. I guess you're really trying to make broke stand out, so I guess I get it. As for the arrow's so thin that it kind of doesn't pop to me the way that arrows should, I guess. If I was gonna go with an arrow, let me think here. I would probably do something maybe like this. It really gives a better vibe to me. I don't know, it's, if you're not going for like a hand-drawn thing, it doesn't have to, but like a thicker arrow of that sort, yeah, I don't know. I feel that more. Maybe that's just a personal thing. But yeah, so yeah, it's a good thumbnail though, man. Great job. Let's roll over to more responses. I gotta start closing these channels. Oh, also, great outline, or great outer glow on Mr. Beast. That really made it pop. Just so you guys know what I'm talking about. This outer glow that he's got going on. It's like a outer shadow on his head, right there. Yeah, it makes him pop. Very good. Very good. Let's see here. 312. 312. All right, 113. 113. Sorry, I was taking a look at chat. This is quite a new experience. 113. Learning Japanese. That reminded me of a System of a Down song. Okay, learning Japanese. Oh, wow. Great start. Oh, wow. Fantastic. Dude. Wow, man, the color. Man, it looks like you have, like, color grading experience. This is great. Look, we had these technical difficulties today. I don't want to waste time on something that's basically already perfect, in my opinion. Fantastic job. I've got... I don't know, man. I have to see some of your other thumbnails. That is awesome. Oh, you got like sort of a consistency type thing going on here. Wow. And the words behind your head on this? Dude. This is awesome. Yeah. The one that you submitted is absolutely the best thumbnail I'm seeing right now. Although this one is very good too. This I tried to clear JLPT one. You got a head, you got an object, side by side. There's room for everything. Awesome. And the plant blurred in the background. Little color pop. Nice. I know that's not the one you submitted, but yeah. Dude, I got nothing to say. This is awesome. Let's just move on. Great job. All right, 319. $177. 177. Stop it. That was 170. Yep. Okay. Daku 180. Let's grab this URL. The short form documentaries was the purpose. All right. This one, man. Okay. All right. So what I would do with this one, and I'm not going to take it into Photoshop because the stuff I would do to it is a little bit more advanced, and this isn't a tutorial. But there are ways to refine this hair a bit more. And I don't know if you can do it in anything else, but Photoshop, I've never messed with anything. But it would basically just cut the hair out and make everything more sharp, like how sharp his shoulders are here. But the hair would be that sharp too, instead of this fuzziness you got going on. Now, the fuzziness wouldn't be so noticeable if there was more of a white outer glow, but it doesn't fit. So I was just saying that if you put like a white outer glow or something like that, and it's the same color as the background behind the hair, then you never have to worry about the hair not looking naturally cut out. As for, okay, first of all, the composition's great. I personally, here, actually, let me drop this in real quick. I personally feel like dark, I can't remember who said this. Bright is right, dark misses the mark. Somebody said that on a video I recently listened to. And it's kind of true, but I don't know. I feel like brighter, saturated thumbnails catch more. I don't know if that's going to last forever, just like how Mr. Beast style editing, it was huge for a long time, and now it's kind of like, people are going more towards authentic editing. I think more aesthetic type thumbnails will be the norm eventually, but, unfortunately, just like advertising and marketing, bright catches eyes, so if you really wanted to, I do not want to saturate his face. I would saturate the green and red is what I'm going for here. Greens, pop those. Nope. My apologies. Dude's got a lot. One sec. Yeah, so he looks fine to me, the way that you've got it going on here. He looks fine, but the saturation of the background is really what I would make stick out a little bit more, like so. Know what I'm saying? I don't know if the orange needs any help. It's pretty awesome already. And as for the money, if I were to do something about this, I would probably... I've done this before because I had this same problem. Stop grabbing that. Is that the money kind of blends in, and money is a very weird color. People, when they see money on YouTube, it's green. But if you go for the natural dollar look, it's not visually pleasing. So I usually try to make money pop a bit more than what it actually looks like. Because in our minds, we think, dollars are green, but they're kind of not green. They're kind of like, I don't know. Whatever this is, it's like off-white. But money is green for some reason. So, yeah, that's good enough. I would just take the dollar and saturate that and make it stick out a bit more as far as its color. I would push it more towards green. Yeah, something like this. Really make it bust out. I would probably duplicate it and make it I would just probably color green over it like this. Is what I'm saying. Just like this, and then I would do some type of overlay and then lower the opacity to really make it work, and probably throw a drop shadow behind it or something like that. But yeah, so that would be my idea. I know that that's pretty rough, but yeah, that's what I would do. Money is very weird, but the background, brighten it up a little bit. That's what I would do. Other than that, I mean, great composition. It's good contrast. Like, it's a solid thumbnail. Let's move on. Okay, 334. 334. One, 2, 8. Trashping. Okay. Minecraft mods. Nice. Oh, it's starting it at. It's time-stamped, I see. All right. Objective run. All right. Whew. Let me think here. All right. As for the layout, the composition, it's pretty legit. I mean, you've got text at the top. There's room for it, especially with the ceiling behind it. It gives it enough space around to not complicate things. And when I say that, I mean if the pattern were different, if there was like a lot going on behind it, you know, it wouldn't pop out as much. So this is great. I can see that you've done some drop shadows and outer glows. Make it pop. Nice. And then you've got this guy here. I can't remember what they're called. Sorry. I don't play Minecraft much. There's a haze. There's sort of a haze going on, and I would probably correct that by upping the contrast a little bit. And then I would probably make him stick out a bit more from the rest of the background. And that could just be cutting him out and then lowering the saturation. Let me just show you what I mean. Sorry. I'll talk a lot about it, and then it's like, yeah, I forgot I'm teaching about this. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab a couple things. First, we're going to get this guy, however we can. I'm just going to roughly do this as fast as possible so you know what I mean. But I got to select him so I can adjust everything else behind him. Cool. No. There we go. I'm not going to take the time to get his little fingies there, or fingers, or whatever they are. So yeah, let's make him pop off, and then we will go ahead and grab the text as well. Actually, there's probably I can probably use something like the object. Okay, so Photoshop grab. Come on, Photoshop. Okay, cool. Yes, duplicate it. All right. Cool. So the background, like I was saying, I would probably lower the saturation a bit. Like this, just to make him pop off. Maybe darken it, like so. And then, I know it's a really hazy kind of picture, like I said, and I think that we could probably get rid of that with a little contrast. Let's pop this back up just a bit. A little bit of contrast, lowering the brightness. And then this guy, very, very weird to make him stick out, but because he's already glowing, right? So maybe just a darker shadow around him. You could go red. No, you can't. That does not look good. Yeah, just a little bit darker around him. A lot of times I just kind of experiment with this sort of thing. But yeah, just to make it look natural, it doesn't have to be too crazy. And once you have that, you could adjust your saturation, a little bit of color. He doesn't look right with much color, though. So you would have to play with the brightness a bit on him just to make him stick out. You could go into Photoshop or into the camera raw settings and like sharpen it up and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I would do just to make him stick out, and the text would stick out too. If you actually lowered the saturation in the back completely, or you could like, I don't know, put a different color over it, something like that, just to really make him pop. If you did a red background like that, then you might want to do something different with the text, the run. But yeah, I would do something like that, just experiment to make it pop out a little bit more, because right now, as it is, it just seems like it seems flat so far. I mean, I know it's not, it's a screen cap, but you could give it some depth, like really make it stick out. Okie doke. Let's move on to 351. $168. Game Tech Talk. Review of tech in gaming. Nice. All right, Game Tech Talk. Ooh, nice angles. Okay. All right, so the idea is obviously across. You know, I'm curious here what other Turtle Beach type channels are doing. Just to see. Okay, it's very similar. All right, so this is going to be a little different. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is what works in that niche. You could do what they do, make it like really clean, like you have. I would say your controller probably should pop off the background a little bit more. Aesthetically, this is cool. I like it, but it doesn't give enough pop of what it is. The RGBs are really cool and they stick out when the background is black, but it just doesn't stick out as the other ones do. Like, you know, when you observe it, you can tell that it's a controller, but with these, you don't really have to observe, like, it's just look and you know. You know, yours is really good. Like, the words that you chose are much better than so cool, in my opinion. Yeah, so I don't know. I love that you chose to change the weight of the font too. Like you've got like a thin, and then you've got a super bold, maybe black. Maybe I think that's Impact possibly. That's a really cool choice. I love that. I guess my only thing would just to be it sucks, but just make it stick off the background a bit more. I love the look of it. It's a great picture, but it's not a thumbnail, you know. It just you gotta give the impression so quick or they'll move on. Thumbnails are just tough. It's tough for artists, you know. But yeah, that's all I could say. I mean, it looks like you're doing exactly what they do, and yeah, it's a good thumbnail. All right, let's move on. 357. $258. All right. Every now and then I have to look up at the chat to just make sure that I am people can still hear me. Okay, 258. Like after the technical difficulties, it's a little paranoid. Okay, gaming channel. Copy. Cool. Okay, let's see here. I wish I knew the context of what is going on here. I guess I'd have to watch the video, which is great because I mean that inspires some curiosity. I love that you just you just cropped the head and threw it on a doctor. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, so there's a lot going on. First, the background needs to change, I think. And the reason is because it's so many colors that whatever you put in front of it, it's going to distract. There's nothing like it catches an eye, but it also destroys the clarity of the thumbnail. The text itself could be I don't know if it's a logo or not, like for a game, but if you wanted the text to be seen, then it needs to be bolder, and this little drop shadow thing that's going on behind it, this like offset, it's just it also kind of clouds it up. The thing about text is it kind of should invoke curiosity, like something that happened in the video. So I probably would change what's written if you really need text in it. Man, I'm sorry. There is a lot going on. The head, it's hilarious to me because it's so like low res compared to the doctor's body that's the first thing that I noticed and I appreciated about it. And if you kind of took away the background and put like a part of the game in it, right? This is already dark anyway, and you just find a spot like a wall that has like a lot of negative space and blur it a little bit and stick it in the background. And then you put the doctor in there and you've got this like really blurry head that should be high res. It's funny, it really gets attention in that way. It's like a meme. I would start with that first. And if you're going to add text, make it something that kind of alludes to something that happens in the video. You could even make it something that like an arrow comes down and points at something, like an object or some crazy thing that happened in the video. So yeah, I would start with that. Try changing the background, maybe make it something from the game. Definitely keep the head on the doctor's body. It's just so funny to me. You could make it bigger. When heads are, let's see here. Try to find a good example here. When heads are like, I don't know, one's gonna pop up here. When heads fill like most of the thumbnail, it really catches, like him here or Hayden. This people see eyes, people like immediately connect, and I know that it might be difficult, but people will recognize that that's a human or a game character. So yeah, just make it bigger. I would say, like make it the focus because it's so funny to me. Okay, 366. $13. I feel like, nope. Okay, Lucid PZPL. Commentary. Nice. All right. This is pretty solid editing. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Okay, first, okay, so this pink alligator, I know I don't understand the context, but just basing it off of the thumbnail itself, I see a pink alligator. I assume is your character or your branding, or maybe you're a VTuber of some sort. Horrible channels. Okay, so let's just focus on the layout here. First, I would kind of separate this a little bit from this, like these two characters, just kind of give them their own space. The horrible channels, let's focus on the text a little bit. I would definitely either get rid of the outer glow, or I would change the red text to like white or something like that. If you did, here, I'll show you real quick. Oops. Let me go ahead and make the thing, switch it over. I don't know if that's Obelix. I think it might be. Yeah, it looks like Obelix. Okay, horrible channels. And then we'll just bump up the size to what you got going on here. Yeah, that's good enough. It'll at least get us to this point. Cool. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm saying. That pops so much more that if you zoom so far out, it's like, oh wow. You know, take a look at the difference here. You can see horrible channels, and then it's like, what's going on there? You know, it's like it says horrible channels, but the red around it just kind of makes it, you know, it almost looks like a giant blur instead, especially if like you just glanced at it for like half a second. So yeah, if you wanted to go red though, because it's like, you know, that's the kind of emotion that you're evoking, I would go red, and I'm not going to change much of what you got going on, but I would go red and then put a pretty big drop shadow in there, some type of thing like that. You could always add an outer or outline to it too. It's called a stroke in Photoshop, but every software you can add an outline. It really helps a lot of things as long as you don't overdo it. But yeah, with something like that, the outer glow would just imagine that that's gone. Okay, as far as what the background shows, it seems like there's not enough space for everything. Like I said, I would separate the characters and kind of move them over, and then I would maybe blur the background. If you can do a selective blur on the background, just to make the characters pop out a bit more. Cool. All right. Okie doke. 378. 378. 370. Oct. 154. TJ and Rose. Ghost hunting. Okay, this sounds fun. Oh wow. I'm already into it. Okay. All right. This is awesome. This is curiosity invoking for sure. I mean, wow. Okay. So, upon first glance, you see the arrow, which is the point. And then the arrow leads you down to, oh wow, there's a hand mark on him, which happens in the video, I'm assuming. The third thing I notice is the color here. I'm like, oh wow, okay, so that's EMT, EMP, one of those type of meters. And then closer look, you see this ghost in the background, which is just such a awesome touch. You know, for true fans, they're going to notice that. For somebody just browsing through and you're trying to get their attention, they might not see it. You know, it's a subtle thing that it's like, wow, that's the thing that really makes me appreciate channels. And especially like, you know, design, like that's artist stuff. I love that. But back to what works on thumbnails. They added an outer glow here, which I like because it really does make them pop from the background. And the background, it doesn't need like a blur or anything because there's so much separation already. And the reason is because of it's not necessarily monotone color, but it's like a muted yellow, muted yellow brown color palette. Right. So yeah, that really, really helps make him pop. And of course, nope, I got nothing to add. I just wanted to break it down. That this was really awesome. Great job. This is really cool. If you ever did like if you ever worked in Photoshop, you could kind of select this and maybe try to generate like a handprint or something to make it look more realistic. But that's kind of a personal choice, and you have to decide whether the one that you have pops enough, or you want it to look like impressive and real, you know, what it looked like in the video, that sort of thing. But what you got here, this works for thumbnails. This is great. Yeah. Wow, very cool. I got to check out that channel later. Okay. 384. 384. 384. 384. 39. 39. The Bearded I.T Dad. Man, I swear I've heard of this channel. Maybe on a channel review. Cybersecurity. All right. Let's take a look here. Okay. So I'm assuming that this is some... Okay, yeah, all right. So it looks like it's a video call, maybe some type of interview you got going on, or it's commentary. I can't quite tell just from like scrolling through. But if it's an interview, sometimes it's not quite necessary to put yourself in the thumbnail. If it's not a well-known person, I mean, you know, I don't have enough knowledge to say. Putting the guy in and it might be important. It might not. So let me just break down the layout instead. Cybersecurity. I wish I knew more about this, but let me show you something real quick. All I can really say is there's a better way to make it pop, because you went the route of showing icons, right? Brand icons. And Ali Abdul here does it super well. And there's one that I'm imagining. Yeah. This is the one that like really, really did it for him. The icon game. So if there were a way that you could be in the center and you're looking like more serious, and then you put these icons around you, the cybersecurity icons, like so. Let me just go back and forth here so it's easier. I end up with like 100 tabs every day, and I never close them. If you could do something like that, where you look like this is a serious topic, and you kind of evoke the emotion of like, you know, fear a little bit. That way people really don't want to miss out on what value you have to offer. I would go something like this, where they're around you. In the background, it's got this vibe of cybersecurity tech, sort of, but it's distracting, and it doesn't make these things pop very well. Ollie here has just kind of like a blurred background. You know, it's his bedroom. You don't have to do your bedroom. I mean, you could do something a little more techie, or like just a dark wall, something like that. That's probably what I would do. I would do just like a dark wall. And I would, yeah, use serious right in the middle, the icons around you. Cybersecurity, I don't know if that evokes enough curiosity. I would maybe say something that evokes, or something that gets across the idea of like, seriously, do not miss out. Like, don't make this mistake, or something like that. You need this, you know, that sort of thing. That way they're like, oh my gosh, I better click on that video. You know, just make them a little more curious. So yeah, that's what I would do. Obviously the video worked for you though, because it got like 300,000 views. So yeah, nice. Okay, 394. 394. 351. FatalRbx. Roblox? Roasting Roblox stories. Okay. I'm just gonna... You know, Chrome has this thing, it's like close tabs to the right, and it's nice. But why not the left? I don't get it. There's been so many times I've wanted to close all the ones to the left. Ridiculous. Okay, I'm not great at understanding of Roblox. Yeah, and it's gonna show right now because I have no idea what I'm looking at. You have enough room for everything. Like the layout, I don't know what object I'm looking at is what I'm saying. The thumbnail is cool because you have enough. You have the layouts right and everything. It looks like we've got a character with their feet in it, but maybe it's the other way because it almost looks like a point of view type thing. I don't know. But just going off of what I know about thumbnails, like before, I would probably blur the background just a little bit. This is very cool because you really are invoking curiosity. I don't know why the arrow is over here. It should be like, what is this? And it should be pointing at it, you know? Or you can move what is this over to the left. But with the amount, and this is just a designer thing, with the sword and these shelves, there's a little bit more weight on this side. So I would move this arrow over here, and that way it would be a little more equal. It would be awesome if this pillow thing wasn't there and it gave more room to the arrow. And you could remove it with whatever software you got going on. But yeah, I would do that. I would probably blur the background a little bit, but honestly, if this pillar were removed and this arrow went over, you probably wouldn't even need to blur it. There would probably be enough room for everything. So yeah, that's what I would do. This stroke around the text, it's not quite as necessary. Especially if you move the arrow over, the text should probably come up like the W starts here and the question mark ends right here. So it'd be, what is this? You know, this angle should probably come up anyway. And then you throw the arrow in. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do. Cool. All right, 398. $139. What the feet? Okay, tutorials and guides. Okay. Of what? Let's find out. The Ultimate Guide. New. Best controller settings. Fortnite Chapter 5. Okay. When I go silent like this, it means I like it. And I'm trying to think of like what value I can offer you here. Man, it's really got Fortnite vibes to it, for sure. Let me zoom out here and see. Okay. All right, I see some issues here. So the stars are cool. That probably means something in the game, I'm sure. I don't play Fortnite. Controller settings. I'm only going to say this once. And you know what? I don't know if I should say it or not. Okay. The Mr. Beast font, it's called, let me see here. It starts with an F, I think. I can't remember. Hold on. I'll know it when I see the word. The Mr. Beast font, Comica, there it is. Comica title or Comica Access Regular. I think people are going to start to dislike it. It's just like, it's how I feel, and it works though, you know? So if you like it, if that's your style, I get it. I think a lot of people are dismissing things or videos that use that font or thumbnails in that in that way. Okay, but anyway, so I've said my piece about that font, Komoka Axis. But anyway, behind this, behind the stars, behind controller settings, behind the controller itself, when you zoom out pretty far, let's do it like that, you kind of see that the text behind it kind of clouds it up just a little bit. So if you got that background layer and you could just grab this blue gradient a little bit and just kind of color over that, or I mean really just, you don't have to get rid of it completely, because I know the menu is kind of important to show back there, but like really make the text back here blend in with the blue, like just so it's barely visible. That would make the stars really pop. The stars over blue, good call. That's very cool. The controller settings, this is one of those moments where stroke around the text does help a lot, especially if you're using white text and there's some white back there. Yeah, I really like these sparkles. That's an interesting choice. I haven't seen that. And yeah, I you know, if I was making more room for everything, I would kind of push everything over a bit, but I really like the center here, so that's really cool. Another option could, you know what, it gives the Fortnite vibes. I would move the stars up, I would move the controller settings up, and I would move the controller up maybe a little bit. If you like the bottom being cut off like it's a point of view type thing, then you could just make the controller a little bit bigger. But yeah, I dig it. The arrow could probably use a little bit of a shadow under it just to make it pop a bit more. Yeah, but I do think that the white stroke outline there, it's pretty cool. So yeah, as far as curiosity, because we create curiosity, they've blurred back here what's going on, so the arrow points to something that can't be seen. That's a really good strategy to get somebody to wonder what's back there, you know. So yeah, like, what are they missing? I gotta watch that video now. Good job. Good job. 406. $342. I gotta like get into the habit of going back and forth. This is so new to me. One second. My headphones just died on me. Nope, that's the wrong side. I really like these headphones, but the batteries don't last very long. But it's cool. They're like magnets. You can just take out and throw a new battery in, and then it's got like a little battery charger that on the Bluetooth thing. Anyway, enough about my headphones. Absurdyssey, yeah, I think that's how you'd pronounce that. Making philosophy content. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's cool. Philosophy of mugs. Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh wow, this is it's kind of rare to come across something like this. You know, I think you have such a unique style. Man, you have such a unique style that this is one of those things that you can't quite do the same things that normal thumbnails do. Because people, when you blow up, because I really think that you will, people will know that your thumbnails are yours. For example, let me just show you something real quick. There's this channel called Nexpo, and I noticed a thumbnail the other day, the fall of Flight 123. Now, the value, people understand it. They know what Nexpo has to offer, and I know that it wasn't immediately like that. And if they started with a style, it might have taken a little bit longer. But when you see something like this, you kind of know, Oh wow, you know that's a Nexpo video, and I think that you're gonna have the same thing happen with your channel. I think Darknet Diaries is another one. Yeah, a very unique art direction that they've got going on here. And when you see it, though it doesn't pop out like a regular thumbnail, though it doesn't bait you to click, it baits the fans to click because they know that thumbnail. You know, it's really, really branded in that style, and I think that you already have that. And I was going to suggest adding a word like the philosophy of mugs or whatever on there, but don't, because you already know like when to use that and when not to use that. You're already doing it in some of them. It's tough. I don't have much to offer because you've got your own style, and all I can say is like stick with it. You know, it's a little bit difficult when things aren't going your way, but stick with it. I think that this is impressive. Okay, 413. Yeah, 413. $280. Okay. Szymon Futyma. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I see that you wrote it like that, so Szymon Futyma, hopefully. And if I pronounced that incorrectly, my apologies. Self-discovery. Nice. Okay. So this is it was just a channel link, I guess. That's okay. It's the first time we're doing this, so yeah. No big deal. All right. Taking a look here and seeing which one really sticks out. Actually, let's take a look at the most popular. See what outlier you got. Okay. Okay. So I don't have much to add because your thumbnails are awesome, right? But I do want to break this down a little bit. Just like I've said before, when you have your object, which is a person in this case, making them sharp, making the background blurry, really makes them pop out. Something that is subtle yet is really cool is how their hood goes over the G here. It's just a cool touch. You know, it adds a little bit of depth on where the text sits. They've got kind of a far drop shadow, which is an interesting choice. It works really, really well because it kind of flows into the blurriness of the background. If it was over like a solid color, that type of drop shadow that goes so far and is blurred, it wouldn't work as well. It wouldn't offer that same pop. But this, it's awesome. And the text choice, it's bold. It's dope. I love it. Man, I love the color on this too. It evokes, you know. Now the thing is, a channel like this, it's kind of for somebody specific, and you don't necessarily need to evoke curiosity in that sense because the curiosity is already there and they're looking to solve it. You know, they've already got a problem they need solved, and they relate to this. So I guess the curiosity here is, I feel lost. That says feeling lost. I relate to that. That's my pain point. I'm going to click on that video because this video has something to offer me. So it's not as obvious of a curiosity grab, but very impressive. I don't have much to say. I just wanted to kind of point out what's awesome about it. Okie doke. 419. Dang it. 265. Travel with Phil. All right, y'all. Let's go travel with Phil. This looks like a channel link as well. Philosophy of mugs. Nice. Very cool. Okay, this, yeah. I mean, these are nice. Okay, I want to take a look at the most popular and see. I figured it was. No, that's not what I expected. Okay, let's see what you did right here. Sorry. Well, I know I'm silent. I'm just kind of taking all this in. Man, some of these you chose. You did. You chose some awesome composition and some. See, this is the one that I loved. It really stuck out to me. Oh, what a beautiful shot to start with, too. The reason I love this one so much is because there's room for everything. You know, look at that view, and the angle, like where she is, awesome. Also, she did the little mask thing too behind her head. Yeah, this is a beautiful thumbnail, and like the color, the contrast, the composition, another C word, all of this is great. I really love it. But yeah, so let's go back to the one that was the most popular. You know, I mean, all the things I just said, I think it's the same with this. I I find this a little busy down here, and maybe it's just because the text on the bottom doesn't pop off as much. Also, this bottom right corner shouldn't have anything that needs to be seen because that's where the little this little thing is, this little timer. So, for example, it probably cut it off, see, like right there. Just in case it can't be quite seen. Yeah, right there. Right over the go of Tobago. But yeah, other than that, I mean, man, you got the elements for awesome thumbnails. It's just the type of channel you are. And the more you do this like sky thing where you leave room for the text, I really think that that's special. Like, you got something great. I mean, there's not much to say. You know, normally I say you want something to pop out, right, when you blur the background. But for you, you don't, because you want the background to be like the focus, you know? So, yeah, you do it really, really well. Okay, moving on. 426. Five. Wow. Oops. Bodyss Stitchy. Gaming and music, okay. Looks like it's a... No. Hey, it is a video link. And I'm like super zoomed in because I was trying to show that. Just back that off a little bit. Wow. Wow. This is so weird, the run thing. Is this like a popular like type of video? I mean, I play games, but I'm not quite into watching gaming videos. It's just it's really cool to see that twice. But this is done super well. This glow again. I'm seeing some similar things to the other one. I wonder if I still have it. Yeah, I still got it. Let's do a little comparison here. And I don't know. Maybe it's like a genre of video right now, and I'm just behind on the times. It is a popular. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's actually you. Cool. Yeah, this thumbnail is awesome. So let's move over here and do a little comparison. And I don't want to like tear apart the previous one, but it does give me a little better context of like what can be done in this type of video. Because I notice I personally wouldn't pick to put a red outline on that, but if that's what everybody's doing and it's working, it's kind of important to take that into consideration. The white outline of the characters would absolutely make... There were so many. Come on. would absolutely make this guy stand out. Let me see if I can do something about that, and we can take a look. Which means that I have to sharpen the edges of them, so just ignore this for a second. Smooth it. Smooth. Smoother. There. All right, let's see what that would look like here, because I really wanted to offer something for this. And remember, I didn't outline his fingers. So there's, it doesn't look like they have anything around that. So let's just take out the outer glow, and to bring back, I left this red, which it's not anymore. I would still make it dark though. So let me take off the red. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, hold on one sec. Okay, so it looks like in their thumbnail it's pretty muted, so we can mute this too. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what they've got going on here. Of course, the characters themselves are bright blue, and the surroundings are super duper sharp. And if we did that just as, I don't know, just as an experiment, I'm kind of curious if that would work, but I'm not gonna go too far into it. And then I'll go ahead and get started on the next one while camera raw loads up. Ignore what I'm doing. This isn't a thumbnail, or this isn't software tutorial time. I've said this a couple times, but it's just me showing what I would make it look like. And if you sharpen it just a bit, okay. Just as a test, okay, it's sharp now, right? So we've got a sharp background. Yeah, if he was blue, I think it would pop out a lot more, you know? It's just, it's interesting to see these two back to back. But yeah, that looks better to me. I wish he popped out more. But yeah, very, very cool. All right, back to your thumbnail since we're already on it. Obviously, I love it. So, I mean, the run thing, like this text, I don't know if that's a font that you found or if you did that yourself, but that is really cool. The depth in this picture alone, where you can see, it's awesome. It's very good. You did this right, man. I don't have anything to add. It's just, you picked like the perfect thing. I even love the vignette around it. Awesome. Okay, that said 443. Let's go ahead and jump back over. Once again, 443. Okay, yeah, that was a font you found. Very cool. Yeah, dude, you really nailed it with this one. I mean, keep it up. You got a good vibe going there. Number 75. Studio Joe Productions. I'm pretty sure we already had that one. Yeah, we did. Stop motions. That was the Lego 446. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to remove the numbers as you pull them, but yeah, it should. Okay, 253. But if you've done multiple, then I don't know how it works. I'm new. I love my brick. Gaming. Cool. All right, we are on a channel, not a specific video. Let's take a look here. Okay, you obviously have like a consistent style you got going on. With that, you don't it's tough. It's very tough. Let's take a look at the most popular and see why. Without knowing, I don't know why. Or without more knowledge on the subject, I don't know why. But we can open it and see what we got going on. Okay, so it's gameplay. All right. I like the vibe you got going on. It's consistent, you know, it's kind of your brand, but it doesn't make any specific video stand out enough to where somebody wants to click it. Because if you're scrolling and you're looking through YouTube and you see somebody playing a game and you don't know who it is, that's kind of what you have to consider, because people don't know you, you know, and it takes a little while to build up a community where when your face is seen, you know, it's an immediate click. Like, you know, I don't know, Mr. Beast or whatever. So that's a really tough thing to pull off. So instead, what I would do, and I even had this with this specific thumbnail on this stream today. I was considering, and I can show you actually, because I think it's a really good example here. Let me just open it up. So I was playing around with this chalkboard idea, and I was going to put myself in there. And I was like, man, you know, I'm kind of new on vidIQ, and my face, it's not recognizable enough. People don't know me enough. And I thought, well, maybe I've got this thumbnail I was working on with Mr. Beast, and like I can just make a really good thumbnail where it's easy to understand. People see a computer, and people see, like, hold on, I can grab that one too, just to show. Where people see this computer, they see Mr. Beast, they see a finger, you know, like this, they recognize everything that's in it, and they get it, you know, it gets the idea across. So I decided to not put my face in it because, like, who is John? You know, nobody knows who I am, and what's more important is that they're enticed to click the video, not understand who that guy is. So I would pick something from each video that you got going on, like whatever you think the climax is of your video, the biggest peak, the biggest point. Maybe you die in a hilarious way, or maybe you win something, or you killed a boss and it was epic. You know, I don't know much about Bloodborne because I played one of those types of games and I was way too frustrated, too hard for me. But yeah, so something epic that happens in the game, something funny, something crazy, I would focus on that and get a screen cap of that. If you maybe like you're mid-death, right? And you cut out your guy, and then you have an arrow pointing and it says something, like you have text over it and it says, what just happened? Or I don't know, like that was unexpected. That's too many words, but you get the idea. Like point out something that's really funny and then text as to why, but don't reveal, you know, the full thing. Make them click, you know, invoke that curiosity. So that's what I would do. I would pick a little bit out of the game. Now it seemed like you did do that a little bit here, and it's great, you know, but nobody. Oh, no, yeah, this is great because you're obviously telling a story about some NPCs, which is hilarious. So I get that. It took me a second to understand that they were NPCs. I really had to zoom in and see that it wasn't a main character. I think. I don't think those are main characters. So yeah, that's what I would do. Let's move on. Sorry, I spent a good bit of time trying to explain myself there. 449. Baguette. 27. What is going on? What? Oh, you know who I am and where to click I'm just seeing a whole lot of baguettes, like, being written, so. I don't know why. I hope it's not inappropriate, but yeah. All right. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's been said. All right, 27. 27. Yes, Urban Z, right? Just to make sure. 27. Yeah, Urban Z. Remix music. Right on. Yeah, I see you. I see everybody. Canon FT. Okay. This seems very niche. And though I don't understand what any of this means, it seems like a lot of people do. And honestly, you got the point across. You nailed it. I would, like, normally I would say something like, this is so much text, but it seems like you're offering this. You're offering the same information in the thumbnail that you're offering in the title. But I don't know how to, like, I don't it's such a weird, like, it's such a niche channel that the rules don't apply, much like the one with the super artistic cartoon style. The only thing I could say about this, I think the background's nailed. I think that the font is perfect too. If it could be thicker, maybe, like when you zoom out, it might get a little, it's weird, when you zoom out it almost gets more clear, but basically I would just put a little bit of a shadow under it, just a tiny bit of drop shadow. Like, it seems like you know what you're doing. I want to see the rest of this channel just to see. And I'm basing that off of, like, the response. Like, it was your more, I was going to say it was the most popular, but yeah, you've got this down. I've never seen something like this, and of course it's not something that I've searched out myself, but you have a style, and it works. It definitely works for you. Like I said, in a video or in a thumbnail like this, when you get to this area where the white blends in with the, like, off yellow, bright yellow, it's tough to see. You've got a good aesthetic, you know, it's elegant. I would maybe do a tiny bit of a shadow. It looks like you got something going on here, like a little bit of an outer glow. But honestly, it seems like you've got this nailed. I'm unqualified to tell you to make a change when something's working, because it's awesome. So I'm sorry, I don't have much to offer. It seems like you've got a good handle on that. 454. I think I got another water around here somewhere. No? I got a body armor. We're not sponsored, by the way. Not a sponsor. Just a really good drink. 334. Jellybean Craftz. Okay. Stop it. There. Resin art and crafts. Okay, let's take a look. All right. This is interesting. All right. You didn't send a video specific, so I'm just kind of getting a overall feel here. I'd like to see what worked first. Okay, I'm not going to dive too deep into titles, but I'm pretty sure that the hashtags in titles don't make much of a difference. Now, that aside, I can see why this one worked. Like, I really like that. The background, it really does stick out and makes it pop. I probably wouldn't have done such a thick outline on the text. This one here, I'm going to take a look. But I think what we got going on is you say it's a tutorial right in the thumbnail, and I think that helps. And it's very interesting looking. Okay, so what I would do to make this stick out just a bit more is I would kind of change up the style instead. Yeah. Okay, so I would kind of change up the style. Every time I go over, like, or I hover over one of your videos, you've got sort of the point of view of you making it, right? And I like that. If anything, it would be pretty cool if it was more zoomed out to where it shows more of your arms and you can kind of show that angle of it being made or it finished. Now, there was one that you had, this one right here, where it showed it sort of sitting on the table, where it whoops. It kind of offers some depth, right? It's the scene. I like that more, personally, and I think that if you did it right, where it shows exactly what it looks like, where you don't have to crank up the saturation, because this looks like it's got some sort of filter, or like you really pumped up the purples a bit. If you show it exactly how it looks like, and it's a nice picture, I think that would work for you. I think that people would see that and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I wonder how they made that. Because it's, you know, you're making a promise. This is the result. Now click to find out how to do it. But this color filter thing, you're pumping up the psychedelic style. I think it might be a little off-putting to some people, because they're like, it doesn't look like something I can make. Yeah, like this one could have been great if it had, like, if it was a picture of it in its environment. That's what I think would work. And also, I would not do text, and if you do, like a little bit, and yeah, that's it. Okay, let's move on here. 459. $279. Stumble G. What's the main focus of your channel? To entertain people. I love it. That'd be my answer. Stumble guys, but I can't touch the color blue. Okay, this. Wow, this is awesome. If I would do anything, and I don't know the game very well, if it's, yeah, it's a game, I'm pretty sure. I don't know it very well, but I would try to make the blue like pop to a brighter blue. Something like, I don't know. Just put it over here. I'm just gonna, this is gonna change all the blues, but I just want to show you what I mean. Just to give an idea. Yeah, so I would go probably in the brighter blue area, just a little bit. And if you really wanted to, you could isolate it and put a little glow around it. Like something along those lines, or even this type of blue that's on his jeans, because the blue that you have right now, it should be more of a focus, and it doesn't quite pop out to me as much. But honestly, that's being real picky, because this is an awesome thumbnail, and you've got your one guy on the side, that's your object. You've got a nether on the other side, and a big X. The point definitely comes across. It's, I don't know. What else can I say? Very cool. 464, right. 464. I always think that the claw is going to automatically do it. I forget that I have to click. Okay. 450. Guga's Nebula. Photoshop Entertainment. Okay, right on. Oh, I was like, yeah, I forgot. I was gonna start watching it. Whoa. Whoa. Well, I don't have anything to say. This is awesome. From paper to reality, the point is across. Like, it's a tutorial, it's education. People see the result and they click because they want to know how to do it. You know, the curiosity is there, the idea is there. Wow, this is great. This is awesome. I've got nothing to say, honestly. You've stellar work. I love that the yellow pops off down here. That's very cool. Yeah. Good work. Wow, man, you guys, you're awesome at thumbnails. Like, all right, 465. $290. $290. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Okay, yeah, I will. Scinacz? Or, yeah, I'll go with Scinacz. We'll try that. I took it as a personal challenge. Alright. Combined Ultra Kill with Crossy Roads. Game development. Ultra Kill and Crossy Road combined. Okay. The text I would change because you're basically just repeating like what's written. I would change. You're basically repeating the title, and it doesn't offer like, okay, hold on. Let me think how I would go about this. I would change it because it's a lot of words that could be simplified. The way that you've done this, like the thumbnail's awesome. It's a very well done thumbnail. It's the concept that's catching me. The idea that's coming across. I would change what you say, and I would make it game development related. Something like an obstacle or something interesting about it that would make a game developer be like, oh, like I wonder why. Because yeah, you are repeating the title there, and when people see the title, they already know what it is. As far as the font itself, I would also change. It's when you jump way back here, it's kind of like compact and thin, and it doesn't quite stick out as much. If it was just two big bold words, bam bam arrow, it would be awesome. Other than that, you pick the perfect color. I kind of even like the sharp drop shadow. Very cool. Yeah, so that's what I would do. This looks pretty interesting. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna try to go a little bit longer, just so I can, because I know we had the difficulties at first. So let's just roll a little bit longer. 470. 4. Okay. Triple Tricks Gaming. I do openings, guides, news. Okay. It's a kitty. Okay. I feel like I've seen something similar to this. Okay. This new brawler melody for free, brawl pass. Okay. All right. This is a lot to look at. You need to focus on one object, one or two. Okay, and by objects I mean a person, like this person here. Maybe you could focus on this little ticket with brawl pass written on it. If you could also just focus on this little square here that shows all the characters that you can unlock. If you did ticket, brawl pass, the square, and then like maybe the word unlock with an arrow pointing to it, or a little unlock symbol over it, a little unlock icon, that could work too. But you need to simplify what you're picking to put in your thumbnails, because this is like, it gets real busy. And when you do that, you probably won't have to worry so much about this negative space. It'll be easier to fill that out. Yeah, I would probably pick her and make her like right here on this left third, and then maybe the ticket, and then unlock any brawler or unlock melody. It looks like I would do something like that. But yeah, as for the text, I think that's probably a part of the game, but it works. So you could just probably cut it right off and move it around. You wouldn't have to write it yourself. But yeah, that's what I would do. $474. 316. Bart does art. Wow, what a great channel name. Awesome. Drawing. Wow, what a great start too. That was awesome. Fantastic. Dude, so unique. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's zoom this back out. Now this might be a personal choice, but I don't necessarily like this background behind the text. I think you could have gone with the white over yellow and with a slight drop shadow, just like you did everything else. Or it could be red, you know, like to emphasize how serious it is. But yeah, it's almost like you've got a good color palette here, and the one thing that isn't a part of it is this like navy dark blue thing. So yeah, that's what I would do. I think your outline here is really cool because it's almost like chalky. It's not like a regular stroke. It's you went and you drew it, obviously. Like that's super cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it gets the point across. The curiosity's there. Is it impossible? I don't know. Let's click and find out. Very good. Very, very cool. Yeah, I really, really dig that. Okay. 478. Yeah, we'll go to like 1710, or sorry, 510 or 515. 11. Getting these low numbers. DoogieDug. I played 3 levels of PvZ. Plants vs. Zombies, right. Okay. Now, this is just a hunch, but I bet that there's a lot of content about Plants vs. Zombies, right? Yeah. Okay, so the way that they go about this is they really focus on the one object, right? So you've got like this guy or this guy. There was one I really liked. This is really cool. I don't know if that middle guy is a character there, but it's a really interesting way to go about it besides just showing the art of Plants vs. Zombies, because it's done and you kind of want to stick out in your own way, right? So I would cut out a character like they did here. I would cut out this character. Sorry, I can't hover over it, but they have these characters cut out and they placed it in the spots that they needed them to be rather than using existing artwork, which that's kind of what I'm getting from this. So say you have a background that's yellow and it's got this bright thing going on. You could have cut him out and put him on the right or the left, and maybe shown something from the levels that you did. You know, I tell gamers a lot, like, what happens in the video? You know, what is crazy that I want to see, because that's what I should see a little bit. You should tease a little bit of that on the thumbnail. You know, what's different? So whatever you have that's different that you can offer, maybe accent that in the thumbnail. And yeah, I would say any kind of layout in this style, although I do like the yellow background, so maybe that's your thing. But yeah, I would kind of go for that, the little cutout objects. Yeah, super cool. Show what makes yours different. 481. I had music teed up. Eternal motivation. Motivate, improve life. All right, got some self-help here. I can dig it. Okay. If I see this thumbnail, I'm expecting a Mike Tyson speech of some sort, I think. Because when I see motivating stuff and I see a person, I'm expecting to see them, but or at least maybe they said it. Hold on. Let me take a look here because I just want to see what's really sticking out in this niche here. Because I have seen thumbnails exactly like you have, and they work, you know. Yeah, see, I'm wrong, you know, because I see this video and it's like, is Tom Cruise really giving a speech in that? You know, but obviously it's getting 543 views per hour, so. Okay, this is the style. Okay. So, what's working for them is a very like cinematic like HDR photo with the text. And at the moment you have a really open background. So let's cut this up a bit. Let's do a little cutting, shall we? Let's say we've got Tyson here. Grab him. Get him. Okay, let me just that would not be the background I would put. Okay. Oh no, his ear's gone. Man, it's a weird coincidence, right? Some of you will get that joke. Others not so much. And maybe it's just because I'm old. Okay. So, let's pump them up here. And with the pointing, it's kind of like it's kind of a little more difficult to do what they do. But you could make it closer. Like that. Imagine the background is actually like something like a rainy day or whatever, and then do your text as you did before. But in this case, I would probably pick a different picture because it's difficult to like mimic what we got going on in there. But if you bring them closer and you can kind of crop it up, I would kind of focus on what they're doing too, just to kind of get that vibe. But yeah. I mean, if this was a picture of Tom Cruise and he was pointing, it wouldn't be as impactful as if he was experiencing an emotion. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Oh, I love to see him in a motivational video. That's awesome. Dry Creek Wrangler School. Okay, 484. $324. theknexpert. Hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, I did, because it's connects. Wow, blast from the past. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is really cool because it's real. It's a real image. If that's your vibe, let me check here. If all of yours are real images, yeah, okay. This is the one that pops out. Oh, yeah, it's even an outlier. Okay. This is kind of what I was thinking when I saw it. If there was some more definition of what you got going on. And dude, you get these great angles that would be better thumbnails. Like this right here would be a sick thumbnail for what you've got going on. It is just so perfect. And maybe you could just color over whatever's in the background. That's a great thumbnail. You know, you kind of have that vibe right here. But with what you chose here, it's cool and it's impressive. But when you start to, if I didn't know it was Connects, I wouldn't know what that is, So you're already there. You're so close. You've got you've got this skill. You've got the artistic eye. Just even the very first scene of this, where it's like flying off, like that would be such a cool thumbnail to do in this same style, except it's a little zoomed out and you see it like flying and crashing. It would be awesome. Okay, sorry. Let's keep it rolling. 492. 238. 238. Okay. medihilfe English. It's Hilfe is German for help, so I assume this might be originally a German channel. But this is the English version of it. Okay. Okay, so number one, it's AI generated. And when I see something AI generated, and this might just be a personal thing, but I feel like everything in it is going to be AI too. And when I click something, I kind of want personal perspective, I guess, from a person. And the only reason that this is so obvious is because things are misspelled, that sort of thing. It is a cool composition. It's artistic. The lines and stuff, I would try to make something more specific to the niche. The biology niche. Yeah. Let's check that out real quick. I would try to learn. You could hop on Canva and kind of make something a little more specific than an AI generated thumbnail, I think. It would be more appealing to me. Yeah. Yeah, I would try to, like, that is so cool right there. You could do something like that. I would try to avoid the AI generated thumbnail in like, unless you're going to edit it. If you're going to do more to it, then there's no problem. But just leaving it as is with misspelled words and stuff, it's just a little tough. I would change it up a bit. The human tissue. You gotta, like, an interesting biology fact about tissue would be more impactful on the thumbnail. Yeah. Okay, 501. We'll do 5 more, and then I gotta go. Okay, here's number 1 of 5. This is 92. 92. JayJayTheFolf. Gaming. Gaming. Okay, I guess I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay, you might be a VTuber, or maybe the character is just your brand. Oh yeah, okay, I would say so. Okay, the character is your brand, and that's okay. I think my biggest problem here is the lack of clarity. I have no problem with the character being in there. It's the haze that's going on. There's like a dark haze over all the background, and I don't know quite what I'm seeing. The only reason that I kind of know is because you have the Left 4 Dead 2 logo in there. And it's not necessary if it's in the title. You could leave it. But with that haze and with the outer glow of the last campaign, and it sticks out, it's pink, it's very cool. It's too hazy. You know, give it some more clarity, sharpen things up. Even the outer glow of you could go. It could maybe go. I don't know. I would sharpen it up. It would catch my eye more if it was like a sharp scene, you know. Yeah. Also, the parish thing, maybe that's distracting for what's going on in the background. If it doesn't apply to your story, if it does, then it should be noticeable. But yeah. So, that's my piece on that. 507. Update here. I spilled. It's okay. Spilled it right on my keyboard. All right. Car meets and games. Okay. All right. Okay, so it kind of just looks like you used game art as your thumbnail. So I guess I'm gonna go back to the gaming advice I said before. Whatever specifically happens in your playthrough. Oh, hold on. There's no commentary. Long gameplay. Okay, yeah, it's a playthrough. Okay, so whatever specifically happens that's interesting to you, like you're an epic happening, like focus on that, you know. Let people know why they want to see your video more than the next guy's. Like, you could watch that guy's, but in my video this happens, and then this happens needs to be on the thumbnail. So because you can't talk to them, but you can through the thumbnail. So yeah, I would focus on that. Okay, 512. 10. SpazzyGames. Gaming tutorials. Okay. Looks like we got Valheim tutorials. All right. Looking at what we got. Wow. Okay. These are great. I like the before and afters. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. One of these before and afters might be the one. Dude, very good. Farm these. Okay. That's awesome too. It's like, what are these? Then, now, man, these are great at creating curiosity. Yeah, I mean, even your points are being made. These are great. Let me take a look closely and see if there's anything I would change. I mean, maybe not to the best video you have. Dude, you really got your style here. It's a very niche topic that you've grown obviously a lot as a thumbnail with your thumbnails. These are very, very good. As you continued, you seemed to figure out that things need their own space. Yeah, they're good, man. Sorry, one sec. If there's no sound coming out for a long time, then my headphones turn off. Yeah, these are great. You really seem to find your own vibe. I would just continue doing what you're doing. One of these is gonna blow up, you know. Again. I know that wasn't a whole lot of advice to offer, but you know, some of your guys' thumbnails are just like, you get it. You nailed it. Okay, 513. 24. GRAUZAHN? Okay. Man, sometimes you guys' openings are so good. Okay, so I assume this means first contact. If it does, okay, modern city, antique. Okay, German, episode 3. Sorry, I just moved here from Germany, or moved back to America from Germany. I was trying to make sense of it. Okay, but it doesn't. I don't think it's German, or it might be, but I don't recognize it. Anyway, if this does mean first contact, I don't quite understand what that means. I guess I'm sorry. This is really difficult as an English speaker. Can we just translate it real quick? No, we can't because I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, I can. Let me see here. Where's that button? There it is. Because I have a German keyboard. F-O-R-S-T. Where's the A? There it is. Okay, it is first contact. All right, yeah, I don't quite know what's going on, but it seems like you've got a style here. Man, this one threw me for a loop. Okay, if you're talking about potential, like hypothetical history, you might be able to spice it up a little bit. But dude, honestly, it seems very specific. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe throwing in a background or making it look more realistic. I really like what you got going on though. Like it's black background. You've got the characters. Is it eye catching? Maybe not. Maybe that could be an improvement. If whatever picture you found this guy in, if it's like a green field or whatever, and then you toss, if that's you, if you toss yourself in there, then that would be hilarious. Especially if you level up some Photoshop skills or whatever software you use and make it look legit. Like that would be funny in this situation rather than just two cut out characters with no background. I think that would catch my attention more. Your font choice is good already. It's awesome. The red sticks out to me really well because it's on black. But if you change the background, that might need reconsidered. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have a whole lot to offer as far as just being an English speaker. I know I learned enough German to be able to live in Germany. I'm really bad at it still. Okay. But yeah, you got a good vibe. I like it. 520. All right. I'll do this one and one last one. Oh no! Oh, I missed it. I don't know. I hope that said 423. I'm pretty sure it did. Baller. Okay. There, yeah. Baller. All right, doing this one and one last one, and then I'm rolling. Sorry. I'm enjoying this. I'm back again. Okay, it seems like it's a personal update. This is, if I saw it, I wouldn't click on it because I don't know what it is, but it looks to be a game of some sort, and you might be talking with this character, possibly telling a story. I've got the audio muted. I want to take a look real quick here at the channel just to see what the channel is. Hi, I'm Baller. Okay, it doesn't quite clear anything up for me. Okay. Well, man, this one's tough too. It's a cool image. Let's just talk about the image then. The characters themselves don't quite stick out as much as they should because the background sticks out more. Aesthetically, it's awesome, but I would take the green down on this one, and I would take the red out of this one and really make them pop in their own color to stick out from red. So yeah, if this was more yellow and brighter, it would stick out from the blue. And if this was just brighter and not red, it would stick out from the red. Even grayscale on that one. If it was black and white, it would work. As long as it was bright. Okay. Last one. Let's do this. 523. Whoops. 523. 405. Study and focus. Study with me videos. Right on. Okay. It's pretty clear what the channel is, so all right, first there's too much text and the text itself is not quite readable. It doesn't stand, there's not enough contrast, sorry. The study with me, it's there, but if it was filled in, it would stick out more. If it had a little bit of shadow, it would stick out even more, but the white is fine. The other text is totally illegible. Like it's too small and the font choices are pretty thin anyway. So I would just get rid of them. If 2 hours is important, because it kind of is, although it always shows the time at the bottom, you could put it somewhere in a corner and make it thick and bigger. Maybe add a background to it, you know, a little square or something like that. Let me quickly check out Study With Me videos just to see what they're doing out of curiosity. Study with me. We're gonna study today. All right. Is the sun thing a part of the, because I see a sunny day. Oh yeah, okay. All right. So it's you describe the weather in it too with a forest view. Okay. All of the descriptive stuff doesn't need to be in the thumbnail if they can see it. You could just stick it in the title. And yeah, I would say like this thumbnail, the reason that the small text works is because of the background. There's so much contrast. This one, I don't know what's going on there. I probably wouldn't do that. There's like so much that seems stressful to me. Like if I want to study, I probably wouldn't click on that because it seems like it's a rave. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're going for though, because like some of these thumbnails do have that little description in there. I just wouldn't put anything that's not important in there, especially if it's in the title. So something to consider, but very, very cool picture. I like it. I really like it. Okay, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for coming to the first stream that I've hosted myself. I know we had some technical difficulties at first, and took a second to pull together, but we got through it. And yeah, so I guess I will see you in the next one. Keep practicing.